guess that's the start of every podcast from now on.
What about...
Oh, man.
I got to sing.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Beautiful.
Happy birthday, my firstborn Coley boy, Sunny boy. Happy birthday to you.
What's going on, people of the world? My name is Cole Connor, and I have a beautiful, wonderful guest today. Her name is Jennifer Evans, a.k.a. my mom. She's my mom, and I had to drag her here all the way from Beaufort, South Carolina. So we're just kind of winging this. We're going to see how it goes. You don't have to look directly at the camera, Mom. You can
I don't
look.
know where to look. I'm just not looking anywhere.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
These are really weird.
You got it? Are they on stable? You don't have to look at the camera. You can look anywhere in the room. You can look at me if you're talking to me. You can look at the large light right above the camera.
I
That's
see
like
something.
God coming down from the heavens. But really, I just really wanted to have you on the podcast and just have a chat with you in front of all these people.
Okay. That we can't see, so.
That we can't see, so it's not a big of a deal. She came into town last night, and we went and had dinner with my granddad for his 72nd.
Shout out to Roy Frank Perkins.
Shout out Roy Frank. It was nice to see the family. Went to Olive Garden, and today we're gonna have some brunch, which was gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna head back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just breathe for a second. Soak it in. Deep breathing.
I remember.
Oh gosh.
I tell this story every birthday, and it may be not correct after all these years, but
I'm sure it is.
I remember the moment that this big guy was born, and I'll never forget it. He had a head.
Explain it. How was it? How'd it go?
Because we pushed for so long, his head was like cone shaped.
I'll never live this down.
And I said, "What's wrong with his head?"
I look like a. Wasn't there actual like?
There's cone heads.
Yeah,
cone
an
heads.
actual cone head.
Yes. So I rubbed his head every day, and now he's got a beautiful round head. But then the very next thing I said.
Oh, tell me that. What was that? This is my favorite part of the story.
It's Cole Connor with the steely gray eyes. Your name will be in lights one day.
And that story has stuck with me.
And it has been.
Mm-hmm.
It's come
It
true.
actually has been. The first time my name was on a billboard or something, I think I sent you a picture or something like that, and I was like, Mom, you're right. It's in lights.
Yeah.
But now we just want bigger lights. I want bigger lights. I don't think
Right.
she cares. She just wants me to be
I
happy.
I just want Cole to have, what's the song? Simple Life.
Yeah, you sent that to me the other
I
day.
know. It's Son, all I want for you is. I don't know. I'm getting chills just thinking. I wish I could. The song would come up to my head.
It was so good. For someone like me, I'm I'm not so complex, but I definitely think deeply about a lot of stuff, and I have big goals and dreams. And so she pretty much was just like, I want you to have just a simple, good life. I want you to be okay, breathe.
Take a breath. Everything doesn't have to be figured out today. Everything is not so big that you can't just take little pieces at a time.
And that is where that's the same thing as one of the biggest pieces of calming advice that you've given me, which is it is just a small piece of time. So to put it in a nutshell, me and my mom have a very close relationship.
Yeah. Sorry.
We talk pretty much every day, and if we don't talk on the phone, we're at least texting or like asking what's up.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let me just take a sip at the same time. Parents were divorced at like 6 or 7. It was not the prettiest divorce, but my mom and I out of this, our relationship has just become amazing. So I would never change anything because it's just a really special bond. And
We wouldn't be who we are today if it weren't for the
Exactly.
things that happened.
Exactly. And I never really was able to live with her because of all the drama that was involved. But when I was 18, I moved in with her, and that was, I mean, we had a great relationship before that, but it was like, oh God. I know. We need tissues. Tissues. But it wasn't 18 actually. It was I dropped out of college at like 19, and I moved in with her, and it was, I don't know, our relationship just like blossomed even further at that point. Because at that point you're not really a kid anymore. You're trying to be an adult, and it just was like living with her for the first time. It just taught me a lot, and we grew a lot from that. And I'm saying this to say that she's been there through every second of the journey that I've been on. She is the only person, I mean, outside of Bailey, but even Bailey, my sister, I never had the same conversations because I don't want to drag Bailey down with like all the things I'm going through. And at some point I had to learn with my mom, I don't want to drag her down either. So, yeah.
We're reaching the high water
Yeah, exactly. But it's just been a long, drawn-out journey to chase whatever this is that I'm chasing. And rather than, go down the black hole of emotions, this podcast from, like, all the things that one day I do want to talk to you about on camera, just, like, just everything would be amazing to me to have.
Just a healing.
Yes, like a healing conversation. Today, because it's only the second episode of this thing that I'm doing, I want to talk about just how it is being a mom of a dreamer, of like a person who is like practically never satisfied, who is always calling you with a new idea or a new thing to try to like make this happen. There has to be some sort of emotional roller coaster just on that level.
There absolutely is, because as a parent, the thing that you want to see for your child is you want to see them find something that fulfills them, makes them feel passionate, charismatic, and strong. Find something that makes them be independent financially.
Super important.
And you want them to be happy, self-sufficient, independent, and find something that just makes them feel their purpose.
Yeah, and I love that you said almost those exact words, because like 5 years ago, we filmed you for a Kickstarter I was doing, and the first sentence you just said was almost the same, and you just, I don't know, you stood strong to that whole thing, because it's very true. And I'm a person, like, I've been able to find the independence. I've been able to find, and not that, it's never scary. And I tell her, my like struggles financially, which I'm sure she's like, oh my God. Like, oh God, when is he going to just show up with suitcases and move in? I'm scared. But I've, for the most part, been able to grow a business out of this and do a lot of different things. So I'm on my way, but it's still like at the beginning, it feels like. So it's strange.
Well, for the parent of a dreamer, I'm a dreamer myself, and
that's where I get it from.
I know. From a parent of a dreamer, I understand your struggle and your need and your wants and desire to find and go and do and see.
It's my grandma.
Oh, she's calling to wish you happy birthday.
I know.
Will she sing to you?
She might sing to me.
Should you put it on?
I don't know.
No, don't. Maybe you should.
Oh, the voice runs on your side of the family.
Oh.
This is the other side of the family. She'll leave me a voicemail.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Grandma. I love you, Grandma.
Oh, hey, Miss Connor. I love you, Miss Connor. So anyway, what I was saying, I forgot. I was just talking about as a dreamer.
Yeah, you're a dreamer
Yes.
as well.
Yes,
You wanted to be a rock star.
I've always wanted to be a rock star.
It's one of my personal dreams to bring her on. I did bring her on stage, but to bring her on like a really big stage and just have her sing an awesome song with me.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah. Anyways, but your dreams,
my
you understand it.
Yeah, I understand as a looking at a person. So then my concern is because have already been down this road that dreamers go down, and we don't all go down the same roads.
It's true.
It's a hard road. It's a struggle. It's very hard to be consistent with certain things that you have to be consistent with, and hard to keep your mind on track and focused.
Yes.
To make the money that you need to survive to do the things that you want to do to fulfill your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot to figure out. Like we were talking about last night, just staying focused on and prioritizing the tasks at hand, putting your dream works into the slots that.
Yeah, that's definitely been my biggest struggle personally. Because I had to dive into the business. Or first it was like all creative, and I was just a server, serving food. You were there for all that, and I dropped out of college, didn't know what I was going to do. And then I figured out the business side, and now it's kind of going back. But I know that it's scary for you to at least see me. I'm like going to LA. I'm risking a lot of things that I've spent years build a company that has made more money than I could ever really imagine at this moment, and I'm risking it all to still go back and chase what I really love. How does that make you feel?
Terrified.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It's exhilarating to a certain degree because I love to live vicariously through my children.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the opportunity to do it all the time because you guys have pretty awesome things going on all the time.
But then it's so different, but they're still so awesome at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Right. So, it is, I'm excited and exhilarated for you and all of that, but at the same time, I'm terribly nervous and concerned that, and I don't want to say the words out loud, but just of
What
things
could
that could
happen?
happen. And I'm not a what if person or I try not to do that kind of stuff. So I don't want to think about that. I want to think positive, and y'all are going to have great experiences, and you're not going to get anything stolen. And
oh my God, that already happened a couple times.
You're not going to lose your luggage or whatever.
She's pulling from past experience.
all good experiences.
Yes.
You're going to make great contacts, and the call that I get from you is not going to be, Mom, we need a way to get home.
Yeah. We're screwed. Our car broke down. Artemis is gone.
Oh my God. You're going to say, Mom,
it's amazing.
We met the one.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey. He was just in LA when he made it. He was in LA. I believe it was LA. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he was in LA sitting at a bar when some sort of director, producer came up to him and was like, I think that you have a lot of potential. And that's how he started to move in that direction. Isn't that crazy? It's all about the right place, which is part of why I want to go. But speaking of this terrified thing, I have to balance. So when your mom is one of your best friends and she's the only one that you really tell some of your deeper secrets to, it's your darker, scary things to. Except for me, I'm pretty open online. So I also tell other people, I guess, but I'm really we have a wisdom team. This is what we call it. And I got that from her. And now actually, I don't know if I told you this, but I spread this to people who are on my team in general. I'm hey.
That's what you should.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on you. I consider you on my wisdom team, and I'm on your wisdom team. So, all these, you have friends maybe, but are they, really benefiting you positively? Are they, helping you take steps in the right direction? And a lot of times they're not. So you have to have a core wisdom team of people who are looking out for your best interest, plus your dreams at the same time.
Right.
Very hard to find that balance. Mm-hmm. So, she's one of those people that's on my team. I have to balance, hey, I'm doing this crazy thing, and I'm scared, with I'm going to be fine. Everything's good.
Because you want to tell Mom, I'm so scared.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, Mom's going to be so then you're I'm fine. Everything's fine. You don't need to worry about a thing, Mom.
Exactly. So, I come to her sometimes with, extra confidence, which she just kind of, retaliates with, be careful. Everything's, I believe everything's going to be okay, but just be extra careful. Watch your ego. I wrote this song, which I don't know if I showed you yet, but I say, Mama said to watch my motives. Daddy said to get the dollar. Told my mama I'm the coldest. Told my daddy, watch me.
Ooh.
I just love those two lines because
Watch me holla.
ooh, new
That's where I
line.
get it from.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
I really do that. I really do. I believe that I get it from you.
You got it all for yourself, baby.
It's a negative energy blocker.
You got you have your own mind and your own style and your own thoughts and everything. You got good genes. That's for sure. But all of the other stuff that makes you you, or most of the other stuff that makes you is you.
It's me.
From you.
Speaking of me, are you doing okay? Do you need a little break? Are you okay?
Now I want to say, how much longer are we doing this?
I don't know. Probably like 15 more minutes, depending.
Okay, what are you getting ready to do?
Nothing. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna speak on cussing.
Oh, okay. Before that.
Okay.
So I have this picture that we found together. Let's see if the camera can see it. I don't know. It might be blurred out, but just give it a second. I believe this is me at like one of my first birthday parties. Mm-hmm. And
your first birthday party.
Yep, and then it's my mom and my dad, which I don't have a lot of pictures of them together, which is crazy. But this is just me as a little baby. Just wondering how that makes you feel. Isn't that crazy?
I think you're the cutest little baby. I thought you were the most beautiful baby I'd ever seen in my life.
I would concur.
And then I had Bailey.
Dang it.
Ooh, I wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Nobody heard that.
Yeah. She was a really cute baby. But yeah.
No, wait a minute. This is Bailey.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. It's
Shoot.
Bailey. It's Bailey. Look at her head.
Oh my God! No, wait. What I was trying to say is me. I'm in the corner.
Where are you?
That's my head right there. Actually, I see
Oh,
that. Whoops! Thought this was me.
Aww.
All right. Pretend like that didn't happen.
But
still, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because we were together.
Isn't it just crazy that was 24 years ago? Pretty much. That's crazy. Over 2 decades.
Wow.
Now the time just goes by incredibly fast. It's insane.
It really is. And the older you get, the faster it goes. Which makes me want... That's why I say to you so often, because I can just feel it on you. I feel it because we are very intuitive with each other.
We're in tune.
In tune. I feel it, and that's why I just try to tell you to... take a breath, compartmentalize things, deal with things, small pieces, and it's not the same thing I don't tell myself every day in self-talk, because I need that too.
Yeah.
But I want to transition over.
Smooth transition.
That was not a smooth transition.
Right, what time are we at right here? All right, 12. Okay. Pause 1 second so we can transition properly. You stay.
Okay. What is that song called?
Okay. Back. Simple Life. I can't remember it. I wish I could. I feel like I thought it might be Jackson Waters, but we love that song, Center of Attention by him. Center of Attention. Da, da, da. You'd remember if I played it. Okay, so she wants to make a little transition.
I just want to discuss for a moment when these podcasts, this is a podcast.
This is correct. This is a podcast.
This is not a vlog.
This is not a vlog.
Vlog. You just touched her. Has Jackie been touching her mouth to this
Probably,
too?
I'm sorry. Let's pretend like we don't.
Okay, this is a podcast.
Yes.
So, all the times, I am Cole's number one fan. Have always been his team. Anything that he's done,
I would agree.
I went to see him when he worked as a salesperson in the aisle. You know who I'm talking about. The aisle people at Sam's Club
That was the worst time of my life.
that are selling things to you. Cole did it. I went. I cheered him on.
She was so proud.
I was so proud of him. He did so good, and I bought 2 things.
I sold her.
Which they're still sitting in our garage.
Shout out to Ibby's.
Ibby's car wash stuff.
Why do we get on that? I can't remember.
So anyway,
yeah.
I've been saying that I've supported you
Oh,
all
yes.
through this.
Yeah.
So, Cole starts doing different things and branching out on different areas of music, because he used to do just certain types of music,
So, like
Christian music.
Yeah, I was about to say. So I transitioned from a deep, devout Christian to, I don't even know what I'll call myself now. I'm definitely spiritual, universe stuff, figuring it out, but definitely would not consider myself a typical Christian. Most people in the Bible Belt consider themselves. So she's seen that, and I'm sure that was it was a pretty dramatic, it was a pretty short time frame. It was like a 3-year period where I went from devout to I'm cussing, and I'm not doing anything crazy, but I'm pretty much just cussing.
Right. Yeah. And so, we all cuss. Well, maybe Daddy and Mama Joyce don't.
It's true.
But most of us do at some time or another. Mm-hmm. However, this younger generation, I guess you're called millennials.
Something like that.
It's like that's just a normal filler word, like and, a, the.
What word are you talking about?
The F word.
Freak. Yeah, it's...
And it's just, to me, it's a personal choice.
It is.
However, I think that it doesn't do anything professionally for a business, and you only reach a certain group of people, because you do turn a lot of people off when your every other word is an explicative. I think that an explicative like that is saved for something like you hit your shin on the wall, or you bust your finger with a hammer, or you burn yourself. My word of choice is shit.
This is true. I've heard her say this
and
many
that
times.
was my granny's favorite word. I like that too. And that, if you say it you don't mean, it's like a reflex action.
Exactly.
But I just think the F-bomb is used too often in younger people's vernacular. Thanks for finishing my sentence.
Sorry.
Vernacular, and it could be much more impactful with less, because those are fillers.
It is.
Those are filler words, and I'm not trying to put my stuff on it, because I promise you, I've been preaching this to Cole since he started doing it.
She's using the platform now, though.
Yes. So I'm using the platform to say, and it would be nice to hear from whoever is going to be watching this, what you think about that. Would you prefer to see, and I'm all about transparency and everything.
Yeah, let's do it.
But would you prefer to see someone on a podcast really, giving you right on information, like the last podcast, the first one that Cole did? There was a time when he really got serious talking about what he was doing, and there was no cuss word. And it's like, if you just really get passionate about what you're talking about and everything, you don't I haven't said one except shit. And that was
twice.
Just proof point. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Saying cuss words to me, I love listening to podcasts if they have cuss words or not. One thing I like about being able, not feeling caged in by language and not able to speak, is that I just think it holds people back from being their realest self. Sometimes I just feel like, I'm not going to say it in front of you, out of respect. But sometimes that's what I feel. And on a daily basis, I'm surrounded by people. That's just how we communicate. We got people messing up. We got clients doing crazy things. We got all types of stuff happening. So that is just, in my opinion, one of the best words to describe it. I don't want to be like, this person is an idiotic symbol of...
This person is screwed up royally. How about
Yeah,
that?
that's great too. Wow, your voice sounded so good when you like got into
Really?
radio mode for a second.
Oh, really?
That was awesome. This person has screwed up royally.
Doesn't that sound better than?
Oh,
Whoa.
sorry.
Or how about?
It's so.
Or how about? I feel so incredibly angry right now. But I really don't. I'm just kidding.
But I really don't. It's one of those things where I agree with my mother. I agree with you, but
negated everything you just said.
No. I just would like the freedom. If I never cussed in my day-to-day life, then it would be weird if I cussed on the podcast.
But you don't cuss to me.
I don't cuss to you because I respect your opinion on cussing. I cannot cuss. Definitely.
Well,
You told me one. Go ahead.
It's just right. It's not just you. It's just the millennial generation as a whole seems to, and maybe that's just
It's not
me. I mean, I'm not a sheltered person. I've been around.
True.
I've heard it and seen it all. But it's still, to me, that's just something that's better saved for private conversations or everyday conversations with your people. And I understand because when I used to work in the restaurant business,
yeah.
I mean,
That's where it
that
started.
restaurant, construction, places like that, that's just how everybody talks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, the reflection to me is not as
It's not as intellectual or delightful, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said a real word. It's not as intellectual. It's not as
your articulation is not there if you can't fill that space with something.
Exactly. If I was talking to Bill Gates, I probably wouldn't cuss much. If I was talking to NBA YoungBoy, the hottest rapper in the game, supposedly, then I might cuss. It's also like I'm a chameleon. I'm a host. Like I believe that I'm also a star, but I also am a host where I can like blend in with you. That's just how I've learned to survive.
It's mirroring. It's you mirror who. It's also. I mean, and it's not just you. It's
for sure
our children. That they say that everybody says that, and I mean we don't say it in everyday language, and it's not just about that. It's just the concept of using the time that you have on camera to influence people in a positive way.
Oof. That was good. That's good. That you're right. That statement in itself makes me want to do better as far as that's concerned. And for example, especially when I'm interviewing someone, I really wouldn't expect someone to come on my interview or my podcast and just start cussing away either. That'd be kind of weird. It's only with close people, which is why this really came up because Jacqueline and I's podcast where we talk to each other, we're just so raw and real about what's going on that we just don't think about it because it's me and her. But I know it turns some people the wrong way. Some people love it. Some people like the raunchiness and the rawness, but some people don't. So overall, I'm agreeing with you that it is the best thing to do. I won't always do it just because sometimes I want, like that first thing I did, I wanted people to see me.
That you're frustrated.
I'm frustrated. I'm struggling. I struggle too. Like I struggle. I fear things. I am afraid of a lot of things. So that was what that was about. What this is about is communicating properly and good with my mom and just talking about.
And everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward. And everybody that watches it. So, with that being said, one of the last things I want to talk about, so we don't stay here forever. I know you get antsy after a little while. I'm really happy that we're able to do this. So, this question is 2 parts. First part, how did you feel the first time I went to New York City? And a quick backstory, I met this girl named Tennille online, and I can still consider her a friend of mine. We still talk occasionally, and she's an awesome person. But she's a singer. She knew a lot of people in the industry, and she just really loved what I was doing. At 20 years old, she loved what I was doing, and we just built this relationship, and she was like, I think you should come to New York, and let's just see what happens. And I just want to know how that made you feel in the moment and me kind of taking that step. That was 7 years ago. That was like my first big thing
You
that
had
I
never
did.
been anywhere.
Nowhere.
Not
How did
even
you
on
feel?
a trip, a school trip, did you?
Not anywhere like that, no.
Not on a
Been-
plane.
Oh, yeah, it was my first plane trip.
Yeah, that was your first plane trip. I was terrified for Cole simply because Cole he did live a sheltered life in a small town.
In Sumter, South Carolina.
And went to a private school that totally, even though he got a great education and, was always safe and all of that, but still he just didn't have like the ideas or the street knowledge really. And so I always tried to make them, be aware of your surroundings and keep your stuff and all of that. But Cole is different than Bailey. Yeah. Cole is,
And Bailey's my sister, if you haven't got that.
Bailey is, yeah. And Bailey is, she's like common sense to the nth degree and is so on top of everything. Cole's more of a dreamer, and he's more like,
wait, should I do this?
Crap, I forgot that thing and left it at home or whatever. So I was nervous for Cole, but I was also excited for him and anxious to hear, how it all went. And I think it was a great experience for you.
Oh, it was fantastic. And it was like actually not fantastic, but not because the experience wasn't fantastic. And the girl, Tennille, she was awesome. She taught me a lot, but it just,
retrospect.
yeah, it was just like it brought me back, and I was super humbled and super ready to like grind here, which I did. So it's like the next phase is happening. So that being said, I'm making another big move to LA. And I know like tons of things could happen. I might be back in 2 months, worst case scenario, but the plan is to be on the West Coast for a little while. How are you feeling about that? Can you talk about, as a mother, some of your fears, and just as a friend, how are you feeling?
As a mother, you want to see your children happy.
Yeah, that should be
all that stuff. And you need to go and chase your dreams when you are in a position where you don't have the responsibilities of children and school and all of that stuff. I mean, you have to support yourself. You have a child, a dog, Artemis, that you have to take care of.
She's a lot.
Yes. And so that's apprehensive for me, that you've considered all of these things and you've got it under control. And what was the question? I forgot off on the thing.
You said, so the question is, how are you feeling
about that
as a mother, but also as like a person who's just seen me, like a friend who's seen me take all these risks, and I feel like proving a lot of people wrong, but also just proving myself that I can do it and be okay. Like, what are like the two sides of that spectrum?
Well, as the mother side, of course, I just want you to be okay.
Yeah,
I want
safe and sound.
I want you to be safe and sound. I want you to, find out what it is that you're looking for there, and and just grab on. That's what I want. I want you to gain a great knowledge base of experience and content and everything while you're there. As a mother, and also as a mother, I don't want you to stay there forever, because we're creating a place that we want all of our children and grandchildren to be a part of one day.
And this is in Beaufort, South Carolina. They have this beautiful home on a beautiful piece of land on a marsh. It is like a paradise. It's called Paradise Point.
It's a tidal creek, actually, out to the ocean.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
So
Dolphins swim by.
Dolphins, crab, fish.
Yeah.
It's heaven on earth. So I would eventually, and if you and Jackie are talking about down the road and like having kids and stuff, it's a proven fact that grandkids help their grandparents stay alive longer if they live close by.
That's how they get you.
And Bryce says,
yeah, I do.
And by that time, I may be interested more in babysitting.
Not yet.
Not yet, though.
Okay, so
As a friend.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it has a friend. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so now as a friend, I'm like, heck yeah, man, this is awesome! Woo! Woo! Going to LA! And figuring out, just going and seeing how exciting that will be and all of that stuff. That's, as a friend, I'm excited for you to do that and see what you can gain from that. And
yeah, me too. I feel both. I definitely conflicted about, I was conflicted about things, but one thing I feel like my heart has just called me to at least the West Coast. I do feel like LA. I know Jacqueline feels called to Washington State.
way too cold.
Way too cold.
Way too
but I
far
just want
away.
to travel the world at this point. I just feel, so claustrophobic. I feel like life, and I'm about to wrap this up, but I just feel like life can pass you by so quickly in a business world, really. And I've seen you, which is why I want to have her on again. I'm going to have you on again, just so you know, because there's a lot of things to dive into you, like yourself, your your story is really beautiful. Seriously.
Thank you.
And I've seen you struggle. So I've seen you struggle. I've seen you come out of it. And so, what I'm trying to say is, that like life can swallow you. And money can swallow you.
And will. If you let it.
Yes. And running a business, you've run your own businesses. You've worked for people. You've done everything from serving jobs to starting a chocolate company. You've done it all.
Worked for Aflac for 15 years.
Work for Aflac. Selling. That's so hard to do.
Full commission sales.
Yes. Commission. Oh my God. It's just there's a lot of, it swallows you. Like, I've seen you so stressed and so like check to check, like struggling. And then I've also seen you consumed, like making way more money, like way, way more money. Like, even now you're in like a safe space, but it's still a struggle because you're so busy. I don't want to be that way. And I see not only my parents do it, but I see like tons of business owners do it. And I am 27 today, and I don't want to do that.
Okay. Here's something that you need to hear.
Okay. And this is what I disagree with, I think, but I'll listen.
You don't even know what I'm going to say. You need to put your big boy pants on.
Yep.
Because you're 27.
27.
We all, I'm 53.
Mm-hmm.
We all had to go down the long row, hoe in that long row, hoe in the row, work hard. Got to put in the time to get the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to work hard.
Mm-hmm. You do.
But smart, working smart is the best thing to do. Not all of your own efforts, but through the efforts of many.
Mm-hmm.
And
sorry, that is what I want. So smart, but also going along with smart. And I'm no genius here. Maybe in 10 years I'll look back and be like, wow, that was an idiot. I was an idiot talking to my mom like that, or like disagree. I'm not disagreeing. I guess I'm more so, I'm not going to let that consume me. And it's just not about the money. I believe the money will come. And I have built something. So like, I know what it takes. And I could probably do this with a lot of different business fields. Like, I know that I also could lose it all really easily. And
well, we all could. I mean, that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how things happen. You pushing forward, and I've always told you what is the number one principle for momentum.
Oh my God, I feel like I should know.
You should.
The number one principle for momentum pushing. Constant pressure. Constant pressure. Okay, I got it.
Constant pressure.
True, yeah.
And being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And you've built this from scratch. Mm-hmm. You knew nothing about it, the photography and all that. You learned everything. You got certified. You got everything that you needed to do. You did this.
Mm-hmm. So
you built this, and you keep on doing it. And if you can do that from LA,
okay,
then do it, baby.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
And final statement is
keep making money.
Keep making that money. Final statement is I definitely always do constant pressure. What I'm trying to say to like these people, and to you too, is that don't let it consume you to the point where you don't chase like your own happiness or like know what makes you happy to the point where you're stressed every day and like swallowing you, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, yes, constant pressure. Yes, you got to work hard. Yes, you got to make money, but don't let it like ruin like your happiness. I guess.
No, because constant pressure in business it doesn't mean 24/7.
Boom. There you go.
Right. No one should work 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for your body.
Mm-hmm.
There's a maintain a balance always.
Balance.
And moderation.
Balance and moderation.
Those are things. Those are things that will help you live a more fulfilled life.
Mm-hmm.
And keep your ego in check.
Mm-hmm.
And
big thing.
Never forget where you came from.
Exactly. And that's what my mom represents, I think, to me a lot of the time is balance. She gives me the opposite ear, the keeping me in check. Like she makes me, and Jacqueline too, really, and Bailey. They all make me watch what I say, and I can't, like, there's a masculine energy, the ego, the pride, all that stuff. Sometimes I have a very hard time fighting it. But the women in my life really help me just keep that in check and pretty much make me feel like an idiot when I'm like, oh, oh, oh. They're just like, all right, can you just shut up? So thank you, Mom, for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. This is episode 2. I really would like to have you on one day in the future whenever you make your way back. Or maybe I'll come to you since I'm leaving this place.
We could do it out on our property.
We could do it in the beautiful Beaufort when your house is done.
Well,
she's spent a lot of time on the house. Yeah, it's a whole journey, but I seriously appreciate it. And we're gonna go have brunch shortly, so I'm looking forward to that. I love you.
I love you, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you, and you, and your everything that you've got going on in your head.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
You're beautiful. You're my beautiful old soul. I love you.
Break.
I need to get a hug. Oh.
Thank you for that. That was really good.
That was. Yeah. I didn't feel stressed